Good morning, everybody. So we actually made a mistake today. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And I am definitely like a little disappointed, but at the same time I'm not tripping like that. And I know it was a focus issue because I look at this oil trade and I'm like, all right, it looks perfect. You know what I mean? We broke this area, which seemed like it was ranging for a bit, and then it boom made that break. And then we had a 15-minute zone that was created, right? But this is where it all went wrong because this 15-minute zone had no break of structure. And I didn't really peep that at first. Didn't, well, I didn't, I, yeah, I didn't acknowledge it. And that's like kind of the only complicated part of my strategy that I guess I really haven't been tested with. So I just made this, I should make it a little bigger. But I have to be careful about these 15-minute zones with no break of structure and just 15-minute zones in general because there's specific rules for them. And this is the only time there's really specific rules for setups. With 1 hour zones, it's fine. With 5 minute zones, it's pretty normal. Like you don't need a break of structure. But 15-minute zones, we have rules for them. And this one was a 15-minute zone that didn't break structure, and then it actually tapped the zone before it hit the 50. So boom, it tapped. 50 wasn't tapped yet. So we can't take this setup. But if there's a 15-minute zone with no break of structure, but created at the 50 area, you can take it, but the next candle needs to touch the zone. Um, it wasn't really specific, so at first I was like, actually, the next candle needs to touch the zone. And this one actually did on the 15-minute, but on the 5 minute, it was actually the second candle that touched the zone. You know what I'm saying? So that is what I learned, though. I just really need to be very focused on this. Overall, though, it was a good looking setup, but I just missed out on that, bro. I slept pretty late. Need to lock in. Don't get too comfortable with that. Lesson learned. That's life. Okay, let's get into the trade that I took yesterday. We took Nas. It was a sell setup pretty early in the day. So I actually thought I made a mistake in this setup, but I didn't because we had a gap right here. And usually I just don't take the setup if there's a gap, but it got filled. So I'm thinking that is fine, but usually I want to like make sure that the gap is filled by a certain time, like because a lot of the gaps do get filled, but in this case it didn't get filled until 2 hours later, basically. Yeah, like 2 hours later. So we're gonna have to think about it, but I did make a mistake because I didn't even check. Like I saw this setup, overall it looked good. We finally broke this to go to the downside, and now we're officially on a real downtrend here. And the setup lost. So as you can see, it was a 3 candle, and it happened around like 7:05, 7:10. But once 7:30 hit, it was actually right back to my entry. So I got back. I got in. I do that. I definitely do that, and the setups have won before, and I'm comfortable with doing it. It's part of my plan. But yeah, the setup lost, and that was it for this day. But I definitely need to see, like, with these gaps, I need more data on it. I need more examples. I feel like I should take it, like it's fine, but at the same time, like if it wasn't filled at all, we know we're not taking it. So that's our guarantee right there. But I think I have like a little gray area right there when it comes to the gaps. And then what did I just do? All right, if we go to platinum, we took platinum today. All right, so as you can see, this is the setup right here. Are we logged in? Because it's not even showing that like we were in this trade, but we were. So overall, this trade, when we zoom out, let's zoom out to like the 80%. As you can see, chart was kind of looking like this. So I was like, you know what? We're overall like going up, and we need to have a major break right here, because at that point it's up from there. It's a major point. It was the same thing on silver and gold, but platinum actually ended up giving the setup, which was very surprising because it didn't break it right here and gold and silver did. So I was like, oh, platinum is dead. But we had a 15-minute setup right here. It broke structure, came right back down to the zone, and then boom, 69-point stop loss. Now this was the issue right here. I can't enter, like, my entry was so bad. Well, obviously we had this gap right here, which platinum is notorious for that stuff, but I couldn't see my risk. Like, I don't know why I still can't see it. Usually I could place this thing down and see my risk. Maybe I should log out and log back in my trader V. I don't know. But either way, bro, look at this, man. It won, setup won, and we get out right at 11 if we're above 1-to-1. So right here is literally 1 point from winning, and then we got out. But our reward wasn't as much as we wanted because I just put in 2 contracts because I was like, I don't even know what the risk is, bro. And I don't know why I can't see it. Like, I just would never think that that would be a problem. I always look on TradingView and I'm able to like act like I'm about to put in an order, and then boom. Let me see, what about this? See, this just looks different. Okay. If I did something like this, I guess it would work. Wait. Yeah, so I entered two. This is interesting. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I'm seeing it. Yeah, if I entered 3 contracts, it would have been way better for my reward. But I only entered 2, so I didn't get as much. But yeah, my entry would have been like right here. So my reward would have been around 1,400, but we only got like an $800 profit, which is like, let me see. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. So maybe my entry was up here a bit. But anyways, man, maybe I have to use this thing right here, which is weird. Like, that's interesting, bro. Maybe they changed something. Maybe there's an update, but I'll make sure to do this thing. This, at least it's good that I have this. So yeah, wait. What if I did this? So I would have to move these. I'm literally learning as we speak right now. So I just have to move all these. Well, I guess it's fine, but I need to figure out why that didn't pop up. Anyways, at least I still have options to do it. I didn't think that in real time. I was just like, it's going way too fast. And then, yeah. But this was today, man. Now we're 1-2 for the week. Definitely a rougher start to the week with the mistake that I made, but either way, the week would have been the same because a setup had lost on Monday, even though I took a trade that didn't go with my plan. So, yep, this is the week. We're back at like halfway to the funded point or the payout point, and hey, we just got to keep on going, bro. So yeah, solid trade today though, for sure. All right, so what is what is up, y'all? So I want to go into this trade that I took this Friday, and basically we had a 15-minute zone, right? Yeah, we had a 15-minute zone right here. We also had a 1 hour, I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Yeah, so it was a 1 hour zone right here too. That was never broken. You know, Friday setups, we can't trade past 10:20, man. Ain't nothing good happening past that. So this was actually a trade I thought I couldn't take at first, but then boom, the EMA started aligning again, And I'm like, oh, say less. We finna hop in this trade, man, if it gives us a break of candle. 63 point stop loss, something like that. Let's get it, bro. I feel like this was a good looking trade. If we zoom out, we have the confluences, and then boom, we're overall on an uptrend. We broke this area right here. So I'm like, all right, it's cool to take it, man. It's cool to take it. But we also had to wait because by the time 9:30 comes, we have about an hour or less than an hour for this setup to play out. However, and it was fooling at first, and then it started going up, right? Like this was pretty big, almost hit 1 to 1, and then I ended up getting out right before 9:30. So I got out around like here, um, cause 9:30 that's when the market opens. So I was like, hey, that's the New York Open. Nah, I'm out. I'm out. So yeah, this trade seemed like it was having like solid momentum until this happened, until the New York Open. After that, it was wraps. But we had a small profit from this trade. Um, so I mean, we'll take it. I don't know why I'm looking at the micros, but yeah, this was the same trade, but we didn't really get a whole lot out of it, but it still went with our plan, so I was cool with the results. I mean, that was the week. That was the week, y'all. I'm gonna double check to see if I made a little video about my other trade, but yeah, man, this was it. It was an okay week. It was an okay week. Just learning to keep on trusting the strategy, just keep on letting things play out, and everything will be fine.